making money. And you want to lock in your trades, and you also want to protect your downsides at the same time. I need to unclick that button there. Oh, see that? I had that muted. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Aaron,
Sure.
on that. I had a button clicked off, of course, because I had it muted before the broadcast. Anyway, you know the spiel I give every day. I won't repeat it. Glad you could be here. Make sure you click subscribe, notify, and give thumbs up. And also, let's like that. So for those on TikTok, if you would like the full screen view and be able to actually hear all the videos that we play, head on over to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. We are live here 3 times each and every day, Monday through Friday. Coach is live from 9 to 11 Eastern Time. I'm live with the Futures Education and Training broadcast from 2 to 4. And then we have our aftermarket show over on YouTube on our channel there, American Dream Trading. It is the aftermarket show with Don, and that starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time each and every day. Head on over there. It's a totally different program because it is after the market closes. So you can discuss trades, ask questions. You can join the panel even with a live microphone. You do not have that advantage presently here. So head on over there. Check it out. Don't tell Dawn I sent you. Just tell her you just found her by accident. She gets upset when you mention my name for some reason. Not really. Just pulling your leg. So anyway, well, what we aim to do here is to give you a taste, and I will reemphasize that, a taste of what we do here in futures training and education here at AmericanDreamTrading.com. If you get to the point after watching these frees for so long and you want to up your game, you can head over to AmericanDreamTrading.com and take a look at our membership packages to up your game. Diamond, VIP, and VIP Gold memberships have up to 12 hours of live training and training each and every day, Monday through Friday. The VIP Gold and the Diamond members also have training on Saturdays. And those things are all recorded for those Diamond members, the VIP, Gold, and the VIP members. So even if you miss a class, you're able to review it at a later time at your convenience. So that's one nice thing about it. So head on over AmericanDreamTrading.com. Make sure you grab that free Discord. Scroll down about halfway down. You'll see the link to our membership information page and also our free Discord. By joining our totally free Discord, you get instant access to our stock lounges where you can interact with other members of the American Dream trading community. You can ask questions, you can discuss trades, kick the tires a little bit for free. There's some free educational videos and documents there that's not available for free over on our YouTube channel. You can check those on out. Speaking of our YouTube channel, we do have over 2,000 free, totally free training videos for you to watch at your convenience. And they're even, if you get into the grouping page there, they're grouped by topics such as Coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategy. Just watching them alone will keep you busy for a long time. So go over there, YouTube, American Dream Trading, and check that out. Totally free to you. So glad you could be here with us today. We'll take a walk around the park, see what's going on here with the indices and the other things that we like to trade during the day. We also will answer any questions that you have as time allows. So if you do have a question, feel free to type that down into your social media platform chat box there, and we'll do our best to answer them for you while we speak. Oh, what chart is this? Spark Flames asks. This is my Weeble screen. You can see I modified it. I'm always changing things around just for the heck of it. This is Weeble. This is the broker I use to trade through, that I send my money to and trade live through. And this is just a look of it here. Same thing Coach uses on his lives every day. You've been seeing recently my trading view things, and I was showcasing the new 3.0 indicators that are soon to be coming out. They're in the final testing phase, and I have access to them, and I've been sharing that with our paid members, so they got to see that all day long. It's not officially released yet, but our paid members got to look at my screen today and the other moderator's screen and actually see what those look like. So membership does have its privileges. 3.0 will be coming out as part of your paid membership in the VIP Gold, Crypto Futures, and of course, our number one top of the line Diamond membership. So if you want to have them, head on over there and grab them memberships up now. The Diamond membership, that's our top of the line, that's our kitchen sink, everything included. The mother lode of all memberships, it gives you lifetime membership for trading in the stock options, crypto, and even the futures. Lifetime. You pay one time, never ever pay again. That includes everything that we've ever created, all the training documents and videos, the mentorship with Coach once a week, which alone is $500 a month just for that. So that's over $6,000 a year, right there alone. The Diamond membership right now is on sale on a deep discount for a one-time payment of $10,000. And we also have a special promotion going on that you can make 2 payments of $5,000 each. The VIP Gold Complete package is $8,000, and you can make 2 easy payments of $4,000 each. Or our VIP program for $4,000, you can make 2 payments of $2,000. Or if you would just like the futures lifetime, that is for $4,000 or 2 easy payments of, you got it, $2,000. Head on over AmericanDreamTrading.com for all the details. One of our moderators, Doug, over there on our YouTube live chat feed, has been posting the direct links that you can click, and it'll take you right to our website, and you'll see it. It's AmericanDreamTrading.com. However, WAP is the processor of all of our payments. We don't do those personally. We pay somebody to handle all that on the back end. So that's what you'll see. It's called WAP. They handle back end processing for many websites. Just like you would when you go to a store and swipe your Visa card or your MasterCard in their machine. That store is not processing your payment. It's done by a third party. And that's what WAP is for us. It's a third-party processor. So head on over americandreamtrading.com and get that membership. Now, those promotions are on a limited time, a limited quantity, especially the Diamonds memberships. Once they are sold, they are gone for good, and they will cease to exist. They're also there at the pleasure of Coach, so for how long they last. By the way, do you got an echo over there on YouTube or not? Thinking you would. It's okay. No echo on YouTube. Give you 30 seconds because you're a good 30 seconds behind us. So, see y'all. People over there popping in on our TikTok feed. Glad to have you here. Make sure you click subscribe our feed out and like it. And make sure you click your notification buttons so that you don't miss any upcoming broadcasts. And all three of those live broadcasts that we have on a daily basis upon conclusion of them broadcasts, or, thank you, Aaron, are available for immediate review upon conclusion of each one of those broadcasts. So anything you missed today, you can go watch after we're done broadcasting. It'll automatically be uploaded there instantly. All right, so let's take a look here. This is my Weeble screen, and this is my paper trading account. Clearly says so right here. If I click this little button right here, it says paper trading. You can see I never trade with my real account while I'm sharing with you people on the lives, because I'm not only am I watching for questions on all the different social medias, I'm looking at a bunch of other things, my broadcasting software and everything else that goes into it. So I use a paper trading account for training purposes. And remember, neither I nor anyone else associated with AmericanDreamTrading.com are licensed financial advisors. We will never give you financial investment or tax advice at any time. Anything you see on my screen or hear come out of my pie hole is for educational purposes only. Never mimic anything you see on my screen. And this is just Weeble. This is the broker I use. Your broker will allow certain things. They have different widgets and things. You can customize your screens, right? I'm always goofing around adding things for one reason or another. Who knows? I may have this for a couple days and delete stuff off. Just whatever. I was sharing my screen the other day, so I added a couple little mini charts there. I have MES here. I got gold and ES there. Just kind of watch things. I'm going to change that to RTY, just because it's a small cap stock. So we'll put that over there for now. And I have my order book over here, which are orders that are placed but not yet executed. And as such, they can be withdrawn at any time, moved up or down, added to, subtracted to, canceled. But this kind of gives you an idea where some of the orders are laying at. And of course, I have my trading widget. And then I have down here, I have my account information. And then I have Weeble has a widget with all the different futures contracts they allow you to trade. Again, your broker may allow you to trade other things that Weeble don't, and Weeble may allow us to trade things that your broker doesn't. It's all broker dependent on which ones they allow you to trade. So, what's up, Manny? See you over there. Did we trade once together? I don't know if you've been here or if you're a member of AmericanDreamTrading.com. I'm sure we have. I generally don't trade with others. I trade my trades. I never tell anybody when I get into a trade, and I never tell anybody when I get out of a trade. Now, I may discuss my trade after the fact, but I never at any time tell people to get in or out of a trade. They are all highly trained by being members, paid members of AmericanDreamTrading.com, and they make those decisions individually. So, anyway, glad you could be here. Enough of that. Once you get questions in there, we'll try to answer them for you. So feel free. Your questions make this show a better show. If not, you know me. If you've been around for more 2 or 3 shows, you know I will ramble on and talk in circles and go down rabbit holes and forget what I'm saying mid-sentence. So your questions help keep things focused for me, right? If not, you're going to hear me flapping my gums the whole time. Well, you will anyway, but so makes the show more interesting if we're answering your questions. So let's take a walk around the block here. Of course, I have ES. I traded this pretty much after the market opened. Did a little bit of gold trading. I started my first trade a little bit after 5 a.m. Eastern time this morning. was trading gold, did very well. Um, and then I was trading gold and ES after the market opened. Um, even though I have the account that I can trade large today, I decided to do something a little different. We have a lot of members that have really small accounts, and I just kind of wanted to show to them that yes, you can, with a very small account, trading one micro, which is the smallest unit you could trade of any contract, that yes, indeed, you can make money doing that. And I proved by trading one contract at a time today. Not that they needed to prove to, but I just kind of wanted to reinforce the principle that it doesn't take a lot of money to make money. And I ended up today with $716 in change. So, and I posted that, and they watched me trade here and there, asked questions why we were trading. I told them about my trades after they happened, why I got in where I did, and those type of things, what I was looking for, all in between our training. And our futures members, paid members, we start training and trading together 8:30 a.m. Eastern time every morning, clear through 4 p.m. on a live Zoom call where they can open up a mic and say hi anytime they want. Like they can open their mics right now and say hello if they will. I know I caught them off guard, but there are a whole bunch of members in here. If you want to open up your mics and say hello, now's your chance to do that.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
How y'all doing?
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Well, that was about 100th of the ones that are in here said hello. As we have some that, quite frankly, never open their mics and talk, and that's fine. It's their membership. They can choose how to use it as they see fit. I got members in here right now. I could name, there's probably a couple in here I've never heard talk, and that's fine. Some people are shy on the mics, and you don't ever have to talk. But we also provide, through our Zoom subscriptions that we provide to our paid members, there's a live Zoom chat that they can type in their questions and comments in there also. Matter of fact, we got a new one in there. Hey, Kenny, how's it going there? Good to see you. Glad you can make it. I just seen you just purchased a futures membership here within the last hour show. Glad you could be here. Congratulations on that new futures membership. So hang around and learn. If you got questions, feel free to open your mic and ask. So anyhow, let's take a walk around the block and see what's going on. Like I say, I was trading gold and ES primarily today. Well, not primarily. It's about the only thing I traded today. There was a couple opportunities we missed out on because I was focused on trying to squeeze pennies out of a nothing trade instead of looking around and going to something else. But that's how it is sometimes. You ain't gonna always catch it. So we have there's this S&P 500, which is ES, MES. And let's see, the NASDAQ's probably mirroring the ES. It kind of looks the same there. Yes, it does. The Dow Jones, YM, also looks identical. Sometimes it's different. Matter of fact, it started the day out differently. So there's those, the main index. And then we have the Russell, which is the small cap index. It will move differently generally just because it's a small capitalization index, 2,000 companies in the Russell 2000 index. So there's that, but it kind of looks the same today. They kind of all walked down together and walked up together today. And we can look at, we can go here and look at our metals. And let's see here, gold, which I traded today. It's been climbing up steady. Yeah, I was stuck in this, not stuck, but I was trading ES through all this and getting garbage trades, and I was making money here and there. But had I looked at gold, which I knew generally there's an inverse relationship between the indices. When the indices go down, generally sometimes the gold will go up, and it did that. We could have sat in there, made one trade, rode that bad boy all the way up. As it was, when I finally realized it, I got in about 3/4 of the way up and rode those trades up because it was still a good trade. It was above the 9. All the indicators were behind us. So I jumped in there and got out of it what I could. Kind of got out here, and then I was in and out of it a couple times during the open market. But primarily, I was in the S&P 500 today, and gold has continued to climb throughout the remainder of today. It's kind of flattened out a little bit, right? What else we got? We got copper, which it wasn't very impressive. It was very choppy today. Wasn't a whole lot of volume. As you can see, these little dots, that shows you there's not a lot of volume in those there. I didn't even look at silver today. I have no idea what silver did. Yeah, silver was kind of too, kind of flat after its initial climb up. Now there was another one that I almost traded, but I didn't. That would be soybean oil. I like trading soybean oil. I hadn't traded it for quite a while, and I've been looking eyeballing it together again, especially with the tariff news and all the stuff that's going on. The price has been climbing lately. This would have been a beautiful trade all day today too. Look at that. Had I got in and rode that one, that would have been some serious money there. Can't help but make money in that trade, right? With our training and education we receive from Coach here at AmericanDreamTrading.com, we'd have made a killing on that also. But I didn't trade it. You're never going to catch everything. You can't be everywhere at once. So you trade the trade that's in front of you, right? And you make the most of what you have. So good. So I do like soybean oil. Again, I haven't. I've been, maybe tomorrow I'll trade it on purpose. We'll see what the market gives. One of the things we do have going on this week is a big week for corporate earnings. You got Microsoft and Apple and Meta. The whole markets actually are looking for those numbers later on this week, starting, I believe it's Wednesday. They start coming out. So everybody's just kind of laid back, waiting. That's why it hasn't really been a big, steady uprise or a downfall in the major indices. Yes, it went up this morning. Matter of fact, it climbed all night long when I was trading last night or this morning, however you want to look at it, 5 a.m. It had climbed pretty steadily, and then it kind of leveled out and then shot up again at the beginning, and then just kind of people took their profits and just letting it go. So we make money when the market goes up. We make money when the market goes down. We make money when the market goes sideways using coaches' trading strategies and knowing when to apply which strategy to each situation. So we don't care which way the market goes. We really don't. We trade the trade that's in front of us. Now, one of the most effective ones a coach has is the 2-minute EWO trading strategy. So if I had got into this one here, let me get my little drawing tool here. I don't use Weeble to chart with. I use my trading view. So here would have been your entry. Well, let me get on 2-minute chart here first, because if I'm going to do 2-minute EWO, we can start back here. Here was one right here. This would have been your entry point right there. We've got in at this line here. You would have made a boatload of money there. There's an EWO to the downside. You could have got in there also, right? You get in when the next bar is larger than the first, so you got in here. That would have been choppy. It would have been tough to hang into. But if you could have held on, yeah, you would have made some money there. That one wouldn't have been as impressive, but there is profits there. And then here's another EWO to the downside again. This one here would have been, just put it right there, close enough. There's your entry point there. Rode that bad boy all the way down to the downside. Now what do we got?
Mark,
We have another
Mark,
EWO.
you need
Yes,
to
sir.
change your screen. You need to
Uh,
change your screen here. It's hard to see.
It's TikTok right now.
yeah, it's on TikTok.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, TikTok it's just going through my iPad. But yep, I see
Sorry.
it's okay. Thank you for watching out. And then here's the EWO here. And again, remember, they're 20 to 40 seconds behind also. And from you guys get it live. So, by the way, I didn't change my screen for you guys, did I? Now that you mentioned it. That's why you would be confused. Hang on here a minute. Let me switch screens for you guys so that we're all on the same page. Which one am I on here? No, I'm on the right one, right? You see my Weeble screen, right? Yep. So I'm on the right one. Okay.
Nope.
There we go. All right. There's a confusion. Our paid members I was sharing a different screen earlier, and I didn't change it. Change it for everybody but them. So then here's your EWO here for the green for the upside, and you've been in profit here also by following Coach's simple 2-minute EWO strategy. And we teach that here every day at AmericanDreamTrading.com. So, and that strategy applies to stocks, stock options, crypto, futures, In fact, I have yet to find one that it does not apply to and work very well with it. All you have to do is wait for the EWO to start. It tells you, it doesn't tell you, but you can evaluate when to enter the trade and then let it do its thing versus scalping, which I am a scalper probably. I'm trying to cool my jets on jumping in and out as much as I usually do. Let the runners run more. But right there's just between, open and now, right? Look at that. Every one of them was a moneymaker. This one here would have been probably rough. You may have best broke even unless you happen to stay in it. But I probably would have bailed on that one personally just because it was to the downside and then it went up. So I would have got out of that trade. I may have scalped some of that to the downside, but quite honestly, that one wouldn't have made me any money the way that I trade. So, but all these other ones, boom. And again, remember, no one investment strategy is 100% effective, right? The coach's 2-minute EWO is about as good as you can get on percentage of working overall. So I'm not going to assign a percentage to it or guarantee by using his 2-minute EWO that you're going to have good trades every time. We can't say that, right? Well, I will tell you that it is a very high percentage of times. So right now, the Standard & Poor's is coming up to a critical level here of VWAP in the 200. So there'll probably be resistance and a pullback there. We will see, right? If it does that or not. I know that. Why? Because I've been trained. Right here's your two strongest indicators here together, forming a big wall, and it'll probably stop altogether there. More likely it'll pull back and go back down, but we don't know that. It may just resist here and test it a couple times, and it may continue its upward motion if it has enough volume to do that. But this is where you might want to shed and take profits, right? And then if it re-enters, you can do that too. So there's all kinds of decisions to be made. Now I don't have this all charted out, right? I got my other screen over here. I have my trading view, which has all my lines on it. So I make decisions based on my trading view chart, even though I am potentially trading through here. So that's what we watch for. And you trade the trade that's in front of you, right? What am I going to do at each level? I have a critical level. I don't need a bunch of lines on my chart right now. I can see VWAP in the 200s there, and look what's happening, as I said before it even happened, right? Did I not tell you this was what was going to happen? Now, we don't know what the end result's going to be here yet. We have to wait and see what the market wants to do, whether they want to give up on trying to push it up by increasing the volume in the sales, and they can break up higher and higher and higher. If it does, if it could break and hold, in other words, one candle and another candle above it to the upside, that'll show that it's maybe a move to the upside. But right now it's pulling back as expected. It could sit here for a little bit, consolidate, or it could totally reject and go right back down. The trend is down, right, overall, right? You can see here. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that the overall trend is down, but there is a retracement back, trying to come back to the upside. So this could go either way, actually. So we'll see. Right now we have a 2 candle that are sitting there consolidating. There's your 3rd candle. It's going to go maybe retest that line again, see if they can break through again. If it sits there too long, psychology of traders, they may just get nervous and think, well, this ain't going to break through. So we'll just go ahead and sell off and be done with it. So you can sit there and watch that. Gold is doing well also. It's still climbing. It's pulling back a little bit because the indices are climbing right now. So, all right, questions. What does EWO stand for? Brian asks over there on our TikTok live feed. That stands for Elliott Wave Oscillator. And that's what you see here. That's these little waves. Elliott is a real person. He's a real person. He developed basically in a nutshell, a theory that stocks go up and down in waves. They'll go up and then they'll come down. They'll go up and they'll come down. And they form these waves, which he's developed this mathematical formula that charts this, puts these little bars there. And there's been, just with his basic theory, right? And there's all kinds of them. There's hundreds of trading strategies being used on Mr. Elliott's wave theory here. And there's all kinds of them. You can go Google that yourself. It's mind-boggling the different ways that you can actually use Mr. Elliott's simple wave formula. It's a mathematical calculation of some kind, above my pay grade. I don't understand that. Don't care to. All I know is I enter here and enter here or enter here. And Coach has had developed his own strategy based off the Elliott wave oscillator on a 2-minute trading strategy. And we teach that every day here for our paid members at AmericanDreamTrading.com. So what's the red and green indicator? Are you talking about this one here, the wave? That's the Elliott wave. These here is the 9 to 21 to 55 VWAP and the 200 MA. So we take all these things together, put them all up as one big novel, right? And by using all that information, knowing where we enter at, what these indicators mean, how they interact with each other, what to watch for, watch the behavior of our stock. As I told you before it happened, this would probably stop as it came up here, right? And look what it's doing. Now it's fourth candle still sitting there. They haven't decided to push it up. So by knowing that, I could have locked in my profits or shed and took my profits, right? Me personally, I just go ahead and shed, lock in my profits. If it breaks and holds the upside, I'll re-enter, because that's what you can do in the futures. You have instant settlement of your funds, unlike trading stocks or stock options where you have to wait to the next day. Well, look over there on our YouTube live feed. Vegan Knowledge is here. Hey, Vegan, did I ever tell you you're my favorite? I'm sure I have once or twice. Your favorite. Just don't tell Dawn, because she gets, I don't know why, she just gets upset about it. So we'll just shh, don't nobody tell her. Anyway, glad to have you with us again. One of our people who's also an author. She's got books published. So it's good to have her with us. She's a regular attendee. Candlestick Johnny, Orkalo over there, Balar, Aaron over there also in there. And over we got Spark and YW, Brian, Jay, and more over there who've commented on our TikTok live feed. So still testing. They're getting nervous. As you can see, it's pulling back here down to the 9. I'm going to say I would make decisions on every one of these here. I know through my training and experience how to handle this. Does that mean it's going to drop all the way down? No, it doesn't mean that yet, but you never know, right? It's tested it, technically 4 times to try to go up here and break through. Didn't exactly touch it, but that's because everybody knows it's there, right? So, so you need to learn to do those things based on our training the coach gives us. Let's go back and see what gold's doing in its place right now. So I can go over here, gold, look at gold. Yep, see gold popped up a little bit while that's pulling back and it's indecision. Gold still stepping up nicely. Nice slow slog upward. A little bit of volatility. You could have rode it up and down, made money going up, money down, up, make money going down, make money going up, make money going down. If you really wanted to squeeze it, you could have got some money sideways. So these are all money-making opportunities here. So like I say, I traded just one simple micro contract. One micro contract of ES is $96, right? And between that and my gold trades, I've turned that one micro trade into over $700 today just by doing one micro. Hardly any risk. Did I have red trades? Yep, I lost money. I lost money a bunch of times. A couple of them due to my own impatience. Well, matter of fact, probably all of them were due to my impatience, not waiting for the proper entry. And that's where your discipline comes in. If you don't have discipline, the market will show you that. It'll take your money from you. So you want to always wait on that good entry. So again, Doug's over there typing it. How come we don't go on like TikTok? We are on TikTok live right now, as a matter of fact, there, Jose, over there on our YouTube live chat. Now I have a technical issue on my computer system where I can't hook into the TikTok live studio. That's why you don't have the full screen, but you can get that by coming over. For those on TikTok, you can come over to our YouTube channel, get the full screen view. Right now, I literally have my iPad pointed at my screen. I do not like it that way, but it is what it is. So if you want the full screen, head on over to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Yeah, Coach's systems, he has a Windows-based system. I have a Mac-based system, so TikTok, unfortunately, has not developed the software, appropriate software for Macs. There's a workaround, but it doesn't ideally work, so I just spent hundreds of hours trying to get it to work the way I wanted and just was not happy with the results. So this is what we're doing now. So, all right, what else we got there? That answer your question there, Jose? Okay. All right. So let's go back to ES and see, does it still testing it, or did it give up and move away to the downside? Oh, well, it's going to come back up for a retest. That's good. They want to retest this, see if they can break through maybe this time. More times it chips away at this, just like a big thick sheet of ice with taking a little brick hammer and just tap tap tap, and it becomes weaker and weaker as time goes by. Now, if this one fails to break, that might not be a good sign. It could end up just saying, they'll say the heck with it, it ain't going to go, and everybody will just abandon ship, right? And you can see a big drop. And that's fine too. We can play it to the downside, right? So, I can enter trades here at any time if I want to, right? Get this switched over to the futures here. So, will I enter this trade? Nope. I will enter this trade if it breaks and holds with another confirmation candle to the upside, as long as it gets above here and does that. To the downside, I would prefer to see it break and hold down below the 55 to the downside before I'd enter the trade. Will I trade it in between? Yeah, I will. I can do some quick scalps and make a few bucks in between, but ideally for my setup, I would like to see a break and hold below the 55. It's been respecting the 55 great part of the day. You can see it came up in here into the 55 and rejected off of it, and it's done that quite a few times throughout the day if you go back on your charts. So it's waiting is sometimes what you just got to do for the good setups. So what else do we have? We can go look at, let's go back. Well, let's go take a final look at soybean oil. It's already done trading for the day. Concludes trading around 2:30 Eastern time. And as you can see, it was a really nice run up. There was to sell off a little bit towards the end, and then they had a pop up back up there. So that would have been a great trade. That's just a pretty trade right there all day long, right? Just ride that bad boy up, sell out at the top, get back in, ride that again. So anyway, we're going to concentrate on the equities because that's where the volume's at, right? Get rid of these lines on here so we're not so distracted by them. At least so I'm not. Yes, I wanted to get rid of them lines. So there we go. So let's see if this is going to break and hold above it. If not, we'll go, and the other indices will mirror this also. So we'll see here. This is part of trading, day trading, even scalping. It's not necessarily just jumping in and out constantly. Sometimes it's waiting for that good setup. Could I scalp between here and there and make some money? Yep, I sure could. I could make a few bucks there, right? I could probably make, let me use this measuring tool over here. Yeah, I could probably make 200 bucks, right? On an ES contract. But why should I put my account through that? Because it doesn't know what it wants to do. It didn't even make it up to the line. So why do I want to risk trying to make a couple bucks and end up losing a lot more? So I'll just wait. There's no sense forcing it. About every time you try to force something, that's where you end up coming out on a losing hand. So patience is very much needed when you're day trading. And the problem is this time of the day, last couple hours of the day, volume tends to drop off on other things like the metals and currencies and those type of things. But if this could break and hold above here, they might get some energy to the upside. People will be excited about that, right? And it hasn't been back up this way, and I really don't have to worry a whole lot. I mean, there's some levels here just above the line right here. See how these candles here touched? See that right there? So I can even draw a line there, pop a line in there, have it there, right? That way it's there. And then I got some more noise up here that I can put a line there, kind of give me some guidance up here, higher in this area. I may be off a little bit. I just slapped one up to give me some rough idea where things are at, right? And of course, these levels down here, which I can see quite clearly. So as it goes up, if it does break and hold, then I'll deal with these other levels up here, right? So, but I'm not worried about that yet. I got a long way to go. That's a little boatload of money that thing would make before it even gets there. So I trade the trade that's in front of me. Right now, I'm not trading any trade in front of me because I'm waiting on that setup, the break and hold. Okay. So quite honestly, if this does break through, the confirmation candle will probably break through this level anyway, just based on how close it is. All right. What other questions do we have? Hey, Scalping Strategy, good to see you over there again. Okay. What else? How's the training going there, Scalping Strategy? How you finding American Dream trading in the other markets? Meeting your expectations so far? Hopefully, you can let us know there in the live YouTube chat. See here again, stalled out. We're gonna sit there and wait. Can I go and look at the Russell? Yeah, but it's probably the same situation. And as you can see, VWAP and the 200 are in a little bit different position. They're up a little higher, but I'm going to have the same situation here. See how these topped out here? They stopped the way short. So I want to wait for this to break. Again, another good move to the upside. I can make quite a bit of money between here and there, but I don't want to why should I risk my account? Let's look at the regular Dow Jones. Look at that. See how these all mirror each other? Even the indicators are about the same too. See what the NASDAQ's doing. NASDAQ, same thing as the S&P 500. They're almost mirror images of each other, right? Or exact images of each other. So we can trade that also. So watch that. These are actually probably a better trade because these two are more compressed. So this has less room to move than the S&P 500 does, right? These ones are a little bit more spread out. Now you can see they're starting to close up. So we can watch the NASDAQ just for the heck of it. Why not? Just as good as any other one, trade to trade. It's one of the things about once you learn how to trade and learn how to chart, all you do is trade to chart. A chart's a chart, a chart. Doesn't matter whether I'm trading oil, soybean oil, or gold, or the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ, or oil. You're trading a chart. So once you learn how to do that, it's all applicable to everything else you trade. Now, do some of these sectors have little nuances to them? Sure, and you learn that as you go, right? We try to educate that on that for you. So anyway, if you haven't yet, head on over AmericanDreamTrading.com. Scroll down about halfway down our landing page and grab that free Discord. Get you instant access into our stock lounge where you can interact with other members of American Dream Trading. You can ask questions, discuss trades, ask for further explanations. You can even fill out a help desk ticket if you have a certain issue you want to deal with. Also, there's that free education area that you have access to. Has some videos and documents you can look at for training purposes. And take a look at it. Grab it now. You're going to want to Discord anyway when you get that membership. Carter Shea says, I have Q calls. Should I hold? Well, if he was here earlier, Carter, you'll know that neither I or anyone else associated with AmericanDreamTrading.com are licensed financial advisors, and as such, we cannot give you financial, investment, or tax advice. If I was in this trade, there's nothing that says to get out of this trade yet, based on my indicators, right? It's at a critical level. It could either totally reject and pull back, or if it gets enough energy, if it breaks and holds above the 200 in VWAP, you may have a chance at upward momentum. The trend is down overall for the day, as you can see, right? But it has bounced off the bottom, and the short-term trend is to the upside. So if you had a good entry and you can allow some of this movement to happen, that's your decision, what you do with it, right? So so that's part of the importance. You should have, again, I don't chart on my Webull software. I chart on my Trading View, which is on a monitor next to me. And I can just tell right here, this is the critical level. This is all that matters, is breaking through VWAP and the 200 MA, which are these two lines, the yellow and the blue line. So, there's nothing that says to get out of the trade per se, right? It's consolidating. If you're getting nervous, you can shed some of your holdings, right? Let the runners run, see what happens. But again, that's based on your risk tolerance, what you want to do. Lillian asked, do I think the prices will go lower? Well, your guess, my guess, and $1.25 will get one of us a small cup of coffee at McDonald's. So I don't worry whether the price is going up. I don't worry about the price going down or even sideways. I am literally trading the trade that's in front of me. Why is that? Because neither you or I have any control whether the market goes up and down. We're just little tiny minnows in the big pond, right? We're in there swimming with the bass and the sharks and everything else. So all we're doing is going along for the ride and making the best educated decision that we can on when to enter a trade or get out of a trade, right? So right now, this one's consolidating, so we don't know what's going to happen. The longer it sits there, people will get nervous. They'll either decide, well, it ain't going to go up any higher, and they'll sell off their positions, and it could drop. Or people say, well, it's been sitting here long enough. I want to go ahead and see if we can push this up through. And they'll come in and put a bunch of volume in with a bunch of orders, and this thing could take a great big burst. I would venture to guess, based on my education and trading, if it breaks and holds above VWAP, you'll see a nice movement to the upside. But nobody really knows, right? We're not market makers here. We're just retail traders, is what they call us, versus institutional traders like your Fidelities and your BlackRocks and all them, and the Vanguards that actually control the markets, and they're the ones that decide whether things are going up or down or not. So we don't. We just trade the trades in front of us. If I was already in this trade, if I got in, especially on a 2-minute EWO, I'd be sitting here waiting to see what happens. Nothing telling me to get out of this trade. This is the only thing stopping my trade from making more profit. And you can see it's working its way up just hair by hair. It just doesn't have the volume, right? So we'll see what happens, right? So I can load up, right? I can trade here, right? So, if I want to trade, I can load up a trade to get it ready, right? I can either go short or long using my turbo buttons. All I can do is one click and I can go long. I can do one click and go short. That simple, that easy, right? My stop loss back in there, which I don't have in there for some reason. I was going to do that earlier, wasn't I? Program that, make sure that stays in there. So there it is, my stop loss. I'm all ready to go on this trade. If it should happen to burst through, then fine, I'll enter it. The down trend, yeah, that's going to be a lot harder because you have your major indicators here, and you're going to have all these different levels that it broke through to get up. Now you got to deal with them comes down. But I can do that. I have the training to do that, and so will you over time, right? So, all right. Okay. Can you look at NVIDIA, please? Yes, since you asked real nice, I will. I just want you to understand that this is a futures education and training. This is what we focus on, trading in the futures market. That's a lot different than trading stocks and stock options. But since you were so pleasant and respectful, user 833-453-9877-886, I will take a look at that. Let's take a look together. This is on a 2-minute chart. And what do you see here, right? Matter of fact, let's go one step further. Let's look at a 4-hour chart, because while I own NVIDIA long term, I don't trade it. I haven't traded it forever, right? So we can look at a 4-hour chart. Let's take the big picture view, right? What do you see here? You see you got peaks and peaks up here, right? To the upside, so I can draw a line there, right? This is how you take the bigger view. Put it on like a 4-hour. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to draw a line. There we go. That'd be that button, right? Okay, there's a level there that I have. There's a level down here, right? So I can go in through here and just start marking levels out, right? Where I see multiple touches. But I'm not looking just at this one. I'm looking backwards, right? So I can see where these peaks and valleys are right now. You got one right here, right? And you do the same thing, whether it's stocks, stock options, crypto, futures, you chart the same way. There's nothing different. A chart is a chart is a chart, and you treat it accordingly. Then once you get your different levels on here that you have charted out, then you have something to work with, right? So I can see some peaks and valleys over here. I can draw a line there, right? This is just on a 4-hour chart. Each one of those candles represents a 4-hour time period, right? So now I have something that I can look at, right? Now I can, even if I want to, I can go, take a look at a 1-hour, right? That would be 4 per hour, per 4 per hours, right? So now I have some other things I could draw if you want to use a 1 hour. I don't personally use a 1 hour. I'm just doing it just because I can, just to show you get a few more little lines on there. I generally do 4 hour and 2 minute. It's about all I put on there, right? If not, you'll get thousands of lines on your chart and then none of them really mean anything, right? So up here I can see it broke through up there and peaked, right? So now I have some more information. Now I can even go down to a 2 minute chart, right? So now I can look here, take a scroll out a little bit. Well, where's my levels at here on the last on a 2 minute run? Well, right there's some peaks, right? Bam, right there. You can see we might need tweaked a hair. I mean, I can move these up and down, tweak them a little bit, get them there. Here's some peaks here, right? I can look here. I can pop a line there if I want. I can pop a line here, here, all the way up and all the way down, right? Here's the levels here. It peaked right there and pulled back and stuff. So now I have something to work with, right? So now, if let's just say I'm going to scalp this because I'm not going to be in an EWO play because I missed it, right? So let me see here. So now what do I have? Well, if I'm scalping this because I'm on a 1 minute chart, and this applies to whether you're trading stock options, crypto, futures. Now I got to wait on what I want to do. If I want to enter this, I can play this from here to the upside, right? I can trade that, right? So, I can make a quick buck on that. Let's just say I'm going to enter if this breaks and holds above right here. So here, let me move this line up just for the giggle. See, this is where I would wait for it to break above this line before I would enter it. And I would trade where? Up to VWAP, which is my number one strongest indicator, which as you saw when we was looking at the S&P 500, right? Now see, this is why I wait for the break and hold or the break and confirmation candle for jumping in, because it already tried to go higher than this earlier, right? And it didn't. It came back up on this candle, tested that same level. Did it go higher? Nope. So now the next candle's up here retesting again. So I better be waiting to see if this really wants to go upward, right? Right now it doesn't. So those are how, this is just an easy way to kind of make decisions, right? You get lines on your chart so you have a goalpost to look at, right? That's your end zone. So before I do anything, I'm going to wait for a break and hold, right? So that's how you do that. Does that answer your question? Right? And again, I didn't tell you what to buy or sell or anything else, right? That's a decision you have to make, do your own research. But that's how you can do a quick chart. I didn't have a single line on there for NVIDIA in a matter of, 30 seconds. I could have went faster, but I was describing what I was doing. But in 30 seconds or less, I can get the necessary lines I need on any blank chart. How do I know what time frame? It tells me right down here at the bottom. There is a watermark thing here that I don't have it turned on again because I don't use Weevil to do my charting. There is a actually I probably didn't even have to do this. Yeah, I don't need this one. I can right click here on my settings on my chart. Chart settings, and then appearance, and should be a watermark here somewhere. I don't remember where. Been a while. Again, I don't use this. It's on here somewhere. I don't know. It's in one of these settings here. It puts the watermark on in here in the back, says what it is. Been a while since I played around with it. Get it off the top of my head. I know it's right here somewhere. Chart settings. Bink. Where's it at, Doug? Come on, give it to me quick. Let's see here. Let's see. Solid color. Oh, right here. Interval and symbol. Duh. Right there. Standing right out in front of me. There's my watermark now. You may have a hard time reading it on your small device. It says NVDA 1 minute there in the background on that watermark. TikTok may be able to see it. I don't know if you guys can or not, but there you go. Plus it says it right down here. Also multiple places so that you do know. That's all there is to that. See, there it is. Trying again. Good thing I didn't jump into that trade thinking it was going to go through, right? I didn't have a confirmation. And that's on NVIDIA. And I make these same decisions trading futures or stock options, crypto. It all applies. I'm hoping it breaks and holds up here if I want it to go to the upside. Now, the good thing is it hasn't dropped like a rock or anything, right? It's holding on to these here, but it's getting weaker because it's tried so many times. It may very well pull down, right? People get nervous. So I'm looking at my L2 over here. I can see there's some big walls down here, 107.5, which is basically where it's at right now. So there's nothing to convince me it wants to really pull real hard. Now, can I go here and look at a longer time frame? Yeah, I can. 107.3. Again, that's all right in here. So, anyhow, Matt, got your hand up, one of our paid members.
Hey, Mark. So yeah, if I trade contracts on NVIDIA, what would be any advantages in trading on futures?
Well, you can't trade
Contract.
NVIDIA futures to start with, but you can trade the Qs, NQ. You cannot buy individual stock futures. You can buy stock or you can buy
If I'm
stock
playing
options.
contracts on NVIDIA,
Yes,
and
you can buy a stock option contract on NVIDIA. You get to deal with the Greeks, the acceleration of earnings when it goes up, and the downside is you get a deceleration or an acceleration of losses if it pulls back. And you also lose time as time goes by. Your contract is expiring minute by minute by minute, and so you make less money the longer this trade goes on towards the end of the day. So now we're in the last hour. You may have had a delta of like 0.5 at the beginning of the day, so that means for every dollar it goes up, you make 50 cents per share times 100 times how many contracts you have. Where towards this time of the day, you may only be getting a 0.2 delta, which means you're only making 20 cents on the dollar. So there's a degradation of the contract as time goes on. So that's the advantages of using stock options, right? Versus coming up with $107 a share to buy 100 contracts. It's going to cost you 10 grand. You could probably, I don't know what the NVIDIA contracts are, but you may be able to get it for a couple $100 to trade one contract. So it's a leveraged product, usually 100 to 1. Futures are 20 to 1 overall on average. Not everyone is, but most of them are. So 20 to 1 leveraged product. So good.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for those likes and follows over there on TikTok. If you got any questions, feel free to type them in your chat box and we'll do our best to answer them. No way, scalping strategy. Oh, listen to this. For those of you who aren't looking at the YouTube feed, scalping strategies been at other places and tried employing their strategies and end up blowing up accounts and losing lots of money. He's now since coming to ADT. He's been here a week. He's had green days every day for the past week now. Look at the difference just by listening to the sound of Coach's voice. Congratulations to you, sir. Good job. Exactly. Congratulations. What a difference. Hope that gives you a little bit of confidence. Now, don't get overconfident either, right? You come in with your empty cup, keep building strategy upon strategy, building your count up little by little, small position sizes, not getting over exuberant. Well, every day for a week doesn't constitute knowing what you're doing, right? I mean, I would hope you're picking up things, right? So just take your time, trade small contracts, one or two at a time. Be careful, take your time, right? So good for you. That is really, really good. Make sure you post that over there in the stock lounge, also scalping strategy. Write yourself a little testimonial over there, a couple sentences. I ain't gonna tell you what to say, but to say that you're green every day now for a week since joining ADT, that's just awesome. Now he's an experienced trader. He wasn't successful. He wasn't finding the success he was looking for, but we asked him to come in here with an open cup when he got his membership, and look what happens just by doing that, right? And that's not easy to leave things that you've learned already behind, right? Because you still want to draw on them things. Well, if it wasn't working out too good for you, how about leaving those things at the door, coming in, listen to what the coach is teaching, listen to the sound of his voice, gather your training that you can each and every day and build upon principle on principle. Now I'm looking at back to the Qs, NQ, the NASDAQ 100. And look, we're now testing, trying to break above VWAP here. Am I ready to enter this trade yet? Nope. Why? Because it hasn't broken held above here yet. I want to see one candle above this line with the start of an extra one on the standing on the shoulders like this here. It's usually like this here is what I want to see, a full candle, well, at least a candle, and the next one sitting on the shoulder of that one with energy looking like it may want to move up. And if it does, then I can enter that trade, right? This is on the Qs. I can trade anything there is as long as I have it charted out, right? And I don't have this charted out, but you catch the drift, right? So There, it's trying to break again. It hasn't done it yet, right? So I'm still sitting here patiently. Yeah, that's part of it. You just can't go in there and just, oh, it's going, this is it. This is the time it's going to happen. Okay, let's just pretend that I jumped in this right now. What do you see that candle doing right at this moment? Stopping, right? Just sitting there. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. Are people going to get excited? They may be. They see this breaking above VWAP. Everybody might want to join in there. Well, if they do, we'll join them, right? Until I see that confirmation candle up there, I will not enter this trade because this could retrace back 50% really easy. So I'm going to wait on that next candle. There's my next candle. Is it going to have enough oomph? If it shows energy going up, then I may consider it, right? It's not a guarantee it's going to keep climbing, but it's, it may be showing energy to the upside movement. So you never know, right? But I am waiting. This candle's not really giving me the energy I'd like to see, but it is holding there, right? Is it going to go or not? I think it is. That's a pretty strong candle there, right? So I can enter this again. I'm going to be in here. I'm in profit here. Let me put up my position here so you can see I'm up $500 already just on that little bit there, right? There's right down here. You can see my position. How much that 5 contracts is making me. There's $500 there, right? If I see anything even thinks about stopping on me, I'm just going to lock in my profit and be done with it, right? I can trade one candle at a time if I want to. If I'm scalping, right? And I'll take that. There's 275 or 275 when I clicked it, right? That doesn't mean this won't continue up, but if it does, I can go back in. The reason that I jumped out of that as a pure scalp is because I do not have this chart charted out. Now I can go here real easy, just like I just showed you, right? Go to a 4-hour chart real quick, scroll out a little bit. Oh, look, there's that top there. I can put some lines there real quick. Do the same thing there. What else did I got? I got a mess up here that I can look at. Kind of pop a line there, right? So now I have something I can look at. I can rinse and repeat all the way up the line. Now there is shortcuts to make this go a little bit faster, drawing lines. But again, I don't use Weeble to do my charting on, right? Same thing coming down. I want to make sure it's on the downside there a little bit, right? So now I can go back here, go down to back to a 2-minute chart real quick, see why it's happening here. I can see you got some little mess right here by looking at these different areas where it's touching right there. See that? See how these all kind of touch there, right? And there's some consolidation here that I can chart out real quick, all that quick, right? Now I have some lines. Now I can go back and now I have at least a little bit. What I want more information? Yeah, I do. I want more lines than that on there, but it gives me something to look at without getting too crazy and spending more time here, right? So I know now I can look over here on a 1 minute. I can see how this consolidated over here a little bit. So I can pop me a quick line there if I want to. I don't do a lot of 1-minute lines other than when I'm actually in the trade, but so now I have something, at least some sort of a roadmap. You should never trade anything unless it's charted out ahead of time because you have no idea. You're trading blind. I had no idea where my double tops and all that stuff is. Well, now I do, right? So I can see there. So now I have some information that I can make a better educated decision on. Is this going to stay up here? Well, we'll see here, right? Can I enter this trade again? Well, I sure could if I wanted to, right? So, I made a quick whatever it was. What's that say? $210.50. Now, it's paper money, of course, but I still trade it and treat it just like it's real. If you've ever followed me for more than a couple days, you know that. How much am I leveraging? It's about a 20 to 1. You don't get trading futures, you do not get like a 2x or a 4x or an 8x or 10x on your money. It's straight up whatever you have in your margin account. That's how many contracts you can trade at any given time. It's not like stock or stock options or even crypto. Some crypto products allow you to leverage. You can pick how many X you want. With trading futures margin, it's straight up. Whatever you got in your account, that's how much you can trade. So if I have $1,000, then, I can only trade whatever I can buy for 1,000. There's no bonus leverages attached to that. Okay. So, so it's a little different in that regard, but that's okay. Right. There's advantages and disadvantages to every investment product. So, could I take this and ride it, up here? Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Just let it ride. Right. Sit here and see. Right. So this, NASDAQ 100 contract cost me $1,221 to buy one contract of something that costs $19,000, right? So that's your leverage, okay? So, but if I have to have that $1,200 in my account to be able to buy one contract. So to buy 5 contracts, of course, it's 5 times 1,200 plus, right? You do the math on that, right? So you have to have the money sitting in your margin account basically as collateral, because once I exit this trade, that margin amount goes right back into my margin account and I can retrade it over and over and over again all day long. You can see I'm up 50 bucks, nothing to write home mom about. See how, what I want you to see is you have to give, and I don't have a stop on here again. Well, that's okay. My finger will be my stop in this case. I always trade with a stop. I don't trade the NASDAQ. I didn't have it programmed. But as this candle breathes, what we call breathing, moving up and down, gyrating up and down, if you watch down here, watch how this profit and loss really goes. Now, if I'm losing while I'm talking, it's okay. This is paper trading money. It's not real. It's executing a trade in real time to enter and exit it, but it's using fake money. So, I could get out of this trade right now. I'm going to let it come up a little bit more if it will, right? Up closer to this level. It is riding above the 9 to 21 to 55 and VWAP, right? And the 200s down here. So this is a great trade to the upside, right? Matter of fact, back here would have been a great trade. But because I wasn't already in the game, I wanted to wait for that confirmation candle for my trade, right? So I will give this room to gyrate around. Now, oh Lord, I didn't put in a stop. Well, I can come down here, right? And I can go down in here and create a stop real quick. This is why it's better to have it pre-programmed, right? Because if I enter this here, all this time I'm wasting coming over here, anything could happen before I get it done. So that's why you should always have your stops pre-programmed. They're automatically in there for you when you enter the trade, right? Now I created one manually, which you see that took a few seconds, right? That's within my software, but because I'm familiar with and I use Webull to trade, I know how to manually do all these things. However, I had to save myself a lot of grief and potential loss had I had my trade pre-programmed in here. And I didn't, because I just didn't. So never trade without a stop. What's stop for? Well, if this suddenly knife drops and pulls back, it limits how much money I can lose to the downside, right? I can only lose till it comes down to here. Yes, it'll be a losing trade in this case, because it hasn't climbed significantly above where I bought it at for me to slide my stop up, right? So stretch this out a little bit for easier viewing, right? So as this climbs, if this thing continues to climb and gets above this line here, I will slide. I could do it right now. I could slide my stop up here above where I bought it and guaranteed a green trade, but I'm liable to get stopped out too soon. So I always keep my like a 25 tick trade, keep it away. But that's way down here. I already have the 9 and I have this level here. So I actually have my stop a little tighter, right? If it comes back this, I'm already in a losing trade. So I don't want to lose that much, but yet I still have to give it room to breathe, to do its normal ATR. What is the ATR on this right now anyway? Don't know. Let me see here real quick, because I don't have the ATR turned on this Webull. It's on my other chart. 1 minute candle. It's about 11. Wow, that's low for the NASDAQ. Only ATR of 11. So that means it'll move 11 points or $11 if you want to think of it that way, on average in one candle. That was 50, 60, 80 there, this time last week. Everything was really volatile. So I try to keep, once this gets up out of the way, I try to keep this either at the 21, between the 9 and the 21, right? Because this will be a point of resistance if it does pull back here. So that gives me time to think whether I want to get out of the trade or not. Because if it does, I'm in a losing trade at that point. But right now I'm up 500 bucks. If this sits here and gyrates, I can get out of this trade anytime. I can sell it, right? I don't have to wait. I can lock in my profits. I'm up 700, 750, right? That's good money on any one single trade. I'm going to let it go here and see what happens. This is my next point of decision, because I do remember I already drew these lines from what was going on back here, right, where these levels jumped around. It's not a very strong level, but it's something to help me make a decision what I want to do, right? Now I can slide my stop up a little tighter if I want, right? I'm up a little higher. Do I want to move it above right where I bought it to guarantee green trade? I can. So if this knife drop back, I'm guaranteed a few bucks profit. I won't, because the way I trade, I want to give it some wiggle room, right? I don't need it that low, but I can put it in there, right? So now it's starting to pull back on me. Do I want to exit this trade? Yeah, I probably do. I want to just go ahead and lock in my profit. I'll take that, whatever it is, 500 bucks there, 600, whatever it is, doesn't matter, right? Now, will it pop back up? Well, if it does, it does. I'll re-enter, right? But I didn't like that pullback, and I just wanted to go ahead. Now, look, Mark, you would have made more money. Well, yeah, you never know. That could have kept going, right? Should I have trusted my indicator? It didn't come down to the 9, right? I didn't do that. Well, between two trades, I'm up $771 just on the NASDAQ that I don't trade, but I got a few lines on there to help me guide me through that. No, Austin, I don't use my real money when I am doing these free lives, because I'm answering questions. I'm looking at 4 or 5 different monitors. I got my streaming software running on another monitor. So I'm looking at all these things. I'm distracted. I never trade my real money when I'm distracted. When I am trading my real money, I'm laser focused on what's going on in front of my face. Matter of fact, I'm even talking myself through the trades. So I will never risk my family's money while I'm training you people, giving you a taste of what we do here. There's no reason to risk my real money. Now, have we been in here and I've missed out on a lot of money while I'm talking? Yeah. Right here's a perfect example of that, right? There's a lot of money right there I could have made, right? You see me make it live right here. It's simulated trading, but it's still traded and gave me the fake money that I would have made with real. But I'm not about to risk my real money live while I am talking to you people, just because I'm not laser focused on the trade. Here, if I'm talking and it goes against me, big deal, right? It's not real money, right? So I don't have anything to lose. So that's the whole reason. What my wife would say, you lost money while you were talking to people that you don't know? Yes, dear. How well do you think that would go over? Anybody you married, you tell me how you think that would go over, right? So that's why. Now, do I trade while I'm with our paid members live? Yes, I do. I mean, if not, I'll never take a trade, because we're on here live together from 8:30 to 4 every day, right? So yes. So yeah, never risk your real money, especially when you're learning. This is what paper trading's for, is to help you learn principles, right? So I did took the money out of that. Can I trade to the downside? Yeah. If this breaks and holds below this line here, which is the 21, yeah, I'll play that down to VWAP if it wants to pull that far. So I have my things lined up here. All I got to do is click one button and I can trade the NASDAQ down, but I'm not going to jump in yet because this is a bounce point. Plus I have my level there, right? So if this breaks and holds below this green line, I will play that, and I'll play it down to VWAP, because it will do the same thing going down as it did going up. It resisted trying to go through to the upside. It will do the same thing statistically coming down. It's not saying it can't blow right through it, because they do sometimes, right? So there you go, right? So I'm up $771 fake money on 2 trades while I was talking. Could I maximize it a little bit better? Yeah, I could have. Could I scalp that on the way up? Yep, I could have, but I was talking, so I wasn't really focused on that. All right. What else stuff we got here? Orklo, he says, I always have it a second or third way trade. He said he got a knock on the door, the natural gas leak, that he had to grab his iPhone because he was in a trade, but he was ordered to evacuate immediately. He grabbed his iPhone, took it outside, and finished his trade. That's Orklo over there on our YouTube live feed. Cool. That's why. We haven't talked about that for a while. Well, let me see here. I might jump back into this trade if this breaks hold above this. I may re-enter the trade. Now, it may bounce very well off this and come right back, right? I'm looking at my L2 over here. There's nothing convincingly, no big walls to the upside that I can see presently that may convince me that it really wants to shoot up there at this point. So it may just consolidate here. There's no real big orders up here that people want to sell at a certain level or there's no big orders that people want to buy at a lower level here. So it's probably more likely going to consolidate here while they decide what they want to do with this new level, right? They made their decision down here at VWAP, right? They made their decision down here at this level when it came back down, right? Oh, that went down. I'm going to jump back in. So now we're at another level they have charted out, just like I have one up here. So these are all points of decisions. Once you get a good chart, you can trade anything, right? So there you go. Always trade with a stop. Now, you see me not do it there first because you can see right here, if I enter a trade, I have it check marked there. And I could switch back to ES. It's probably, without looking, I would assume it's probably pretty much doing the same thing. So since I'm here, might as well just play with the girl, that I brought to the dance, right? I am coming up back at this critical level. On my chart, on my trading view chart, I actually do have this line here. I just lucked over at it. I actually do have that line there. So we'll wait and see here what happens. I want to wait on a break and hold above this level, right? I am on a 1 minute chart for scalping because that's what I'm doing. Would have been better if I bought back here and let it run. Yep, it would have. But I didn't get into the EWO. I came to this dance late. So here we go. I'm waiting here at this critical level. I'm loaded up, ready to go if it shows me what I want to see. What did I say I wanted to see at this new level? What was it? Break and what? Hold. Right? Not doing it. It's sitting there. If I jump in now, I can end up with a losing trade if this pulls back. And there we go. It's still not sure what they want to do. They did the same thing, if you recall, down here at VWAP, and that was the strongest indicator. Look how many times they tested it before they decided, all right, let's go. We're tired of this. Let's push the price up. And they may do the same thing here. There it is, breaking through, but it hasn't held. Has not held above that line. If I'd have jumped in there, oh, it's going this time for sure, without a confirmation, come out with a losing trade. So it pays to wait, give up a few bucks here, and not risk having it pull back on you and not be able to get out of it quick enough. That's how we do it. All right. Sit and wait. A lot of times you are waiting. And boy, we discuss that, don't we? I'm a scalper. I hate to wait. I'm very impatient. To me, to wait for something like this is, there's my confirmation candle. There's my one that broke. Here's my confirmation candle. It's on the shoulder of the other one, but I want to see energy of it moving upward, right? I can't really describe to you how far I want this candle to move up, but I want to see this candle have energy to convince me that it wants to go up higher. Because there's nothing on my L2 showing me that it does other than these little tiny stair stepping, right? So there's, I just seen one peak up there. I didn't catch the number. 88, which is just a hair higher where it's at now. I've seen it peak there and then disappear. Right now, this candle does not have me convinced that I want to jump in this, risk my money. Now, if this continues to move up, then I will. Look at the indecision. Look at it going from red to green. And I jumped in there just because that other candle started forming, I would be up and down on my money, right? Again, the confirmation candle is no guarantee. There are no guarantees when you're trading. All right, we'll see what this candle wants to do. This was a doji, which is neither good nor bad. It's indecision. There was just as many buyers and sellers in there, and it ended up really not changing at all. Went up a hair, but so see the weakness in that? That's why we wait. Could I have made maybe a money in a few seconds if I'd have jumped in on that? Well, you could have, right? If I happened to click it and it executed it properly. But I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to wait and see. I'm looking for that energy, and this might be the candle that does it, right? And I can jump in that trade, make some money, right? And right here shows you. Oh, let me get on my position so you can watch this individual trade. Now, paper trading in Weeble just plain stinks, quite honest with you. Down here, you can see it. It takes a few seconds in paper trading. Real trading, it's instant. It executed my trade when I clicked the mouse. It just takes a few seconds to show up. So now you can see, because this was already weak. Look, see, now I'm down $200. But it's got some strength now. It's starting to show some upward momentum. And that quick, I'm already up, right? I'm already up $500, right? There it goes. I'm going to give it some motion. If this thing pauses, I may just go ahead and lock me in some profits. We'll see what happens here. I'm up $350 right now. We're seeing if they want to push it. It's trying to eat that wick back up, right? There it is. I'm holding steady, right? This is the whole point of, this is where experience comes in. This is not something that anybody can give you. You learn this over time. Well, you know what? It's sitting there a little bit. It just doesn't want to push all the way up. It's really tried up. It paused there enough for me. I'm going to lock in that, whatever it is, $500-600 right there. And when you know it, it goes right up after that, right? You never know, right? And that's where you trust your indicators. This one just climbed so fast. I was more worried about a retracement, and it may very well. So that's what, 3 trades. I'm now up $1,281.50. And how long was I in each one of them trades? Seconds? I don't think I was in one more than, oh no, not more than a minute on any of them, right? So I missed out on this here. I can jump back in. By jumping in this quick, I'm looking to running it up there and to see where it goes. I'm watching my L2 here a little bit, and I've seen one pop on there, but I didn't catch the number that quick. I'm in this position here. I'm up $500 already, and I'm going to go ahead and lock that 525 in right there. Let's look at that retracement. See that? So I sold it up here, even though, see this, how this hangs there. That's part of the paper trading. It's not very good, even though it executed the trade here, okay? It just takes a few seconds to disappear. It's kind of frustrating. But you know when you click the button, it executes it. When you click it to sell it, it executes it. Just Weeble's paper trading has that little nuance to it that visually it doesn't disappear on those on your screen. So now I'm up $1,842 on 4 trades, right? And I can keep doing this, right? I could jump in here and ride it. My goal was to ride this up. We'll let this one run. We'll see if this wants to get to this level. Let me double check back here just to make sure. It's kind of messy here, so I got a little level right above where it's at right now. I'm going to see if this will run. This may pull back just a hair higher than where this peaked at because I just seen them levels there. I didn't get into the deep detailing on the, well, you can see here is where it pulled back. That's pretty much where I was pointing. There's a set of levels there. So we'll let this one just sit here and cook. And I'll put this on so you can see how the gyration up and down, how much money you can gain and lose in seconds. All right, we'll let that run. I'm going to let it sit here and gyrate, right? Hopefully it'll work its way up here. It's got some strength to it, right? Now I'm up $600 already on there, right? So I'm up 600, now I'm down 575, 400, 425, 375, 220, 75, up to 0, down 125, down 200, right? So this is why you don't trade without stops, because these things can happen to you quicker and you blink, turn your head sideways, and you miss out, right? So this is why now I'm down 600, and I was already up 600. That thing has moved a $1,200 movement in just that little bit of time. And you have to be able to accept some of that risk. If you can't accept it, you have to either A, go in smaller, or find something less volatile that doesn't move around as much, right? So I just left that run on purpose. I could have took that profit up there, right? Again, it's paper trading. It doesn't really matter. I'm trying to demonstrate something to you here, how that works, right? So, and I've been here without a stop. So this would be very devastating not having a stop, right? I don't know if you noticed it, but I unchecked that on purpose over there. So I was kind of actually hoping it would dump, but it didn't. They're coming back up. So now I'm back up to break even. I'm up $25, right? So it's getting very weak now, right? So now I'm in a losing trade. So now I'm playing around here. So if this shows any sign of getting green, I'll lock in whatever it is, right? But I do have 2 candles down. The downside, it's getting heavier. See how that just adjusted to 9? It kind of flattened out a little bit, right? Part of it is we're in the power hour. Anything can happen. People tend to exit their positions. I'm more concerned about it going down than I am going up, because people will be exiting their positions, locking in profits, taking their ball and going home for the day. They don't want to hold overnight a lot of times, right? So it has a more likelihood of dumping than it does going up statistically during power hour. But we've seen equally movements just as strong to the upside in the last 10 minutes. So you never really know. One of coach's rules is you don't trade during power hour if you're an inexperienced trader, right? Because that's how you get your face ripped off and destroy your accounts. Now I'm back into positive again, right? again, my initial goal was to see if it would work its way up here. But you can see all these contracts over here. They're all about the same size, so it's really hard to tell. There's a 513 seller, and that's about where it's at now, right? So I'm watching these numbers. Are these getting bigger or smaller? I'm just glancing over. I'm not staring at them. I'm actually trading the trade that's in front of me. I'm going to get out of this just for the heck of it. If it turns green, there we go. There's $250 I just locked in. Bang. Right? Again, this hasn't disappeared yet, but so as you can see, 1900. So I was about I don't know what it was. Must have been under 200. I'm at 1927 right now. Not quite $2,000 on 5 trades. That simple. One click in, one click out. Right. So the nice thing about futures is that we, unlike stock options, when these pull back here, when these come back and they pull back, you get an acceleration of loss. So this may have pulled back, but when this came back up, was not the same value as it was before it dropped. So let's say this was $1 and it dropped. Let's say this was $1 profit. This thing pulled clear back. I may only had 20-cent profit, but when this came back up because of the way the Greeks work and it degrades over time, I may only got 30 cents of that, my money back out of that, or maybe not quite that severe, but half of it back, right? And it may had to go up to here to get that whole dollar profit back. So that's what we don't have here in the futures. We don't have to deal with that. If this goes up 1 point, I make $5. If this goes down 1 point, I make $5 per contract. So it's even up and an even down both ways. So I like it. You give up that acceleration of profits as you get with the Greeks, which is a fantastic thing when it's going up, going your way. It's when it pulls back and accelerates your losses, that's where you get bit in the rear end, right? And then you have to wait for it to go back up higher than it was just to get back to where you were before it pulled back. So each of them have their advantages, right? So I'm giving up acceleration of profits by trading futures contracts, but I also don't have to worry about when it pulls back, because when this goes down, if this goes from here to there, I lose X amount of dollars. But when this goes from here back up to there, I get all that money back. 1 for 1. 1 up, 1 down, right? And break it back. So that's why I love the futures. And my trading and my profits have accelerated tremendously since I've come to futures. So part of that's experience, right? Maybe I'm more patient than I was, but that's okay. I like what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue to do that. Oh, Coco followed the host. Isn't that nice? Is that you, Coco? Or is that a different Coco? It's spelled differently, so it's a different Coco. All right. What other questions we have? Questions, comments? What do you want to know? What's your deep, darkest question you want to ask? Yeah. Junior says NVIDIA's making a crossover. Okay. Is it breaking through those levels that we looked at earlier? Then you have to trade the trade that's in front of you, right? Okay. So I'm sitting here. Boy, I sure don't like that 1927. I'd like to have that say 2000. We were talking about that today. Don't shoot for a certain goal. You trade the trade that's in front of you, right? Now, if this breaks below the 9, well, can I scalp that to the downside? Yeah, sure can. I'm already loaded up for it, right? I can click go long, or I can go short, however I want. Right now, it's just kind of indecisive, very risky trade. There's no sense of direction one way or the other. It is 3:30. You got a half an hour left in the trading day. This could easily dump in a heartbeat, right? Right now, it's just kind of consolidating. If you see these different orders, they're all about the same amount, right? So they're fighting over the prices. The spread's not too bad. You got a 1 to 2 tick spread, so that's pretty good too. There's no great big difference between them. You might get a half, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 spread between them, but right now it's pretty constant. So this is what we do all day long, right? Now I was scalping there, right? I've been much better to get into 2-minute EWO and just let it go, right? Let's take a look at that real quick. Let me put my chart on a 2-minute chart, right? There it is. There's Coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategy right here. This would have been my entry point right there, right? Now, I say that without looking at the big picture. That would have been because all my indicators would have been behind me except for these two up here. So it wouldn't be like a 6-star trade, but that's okay. That's a boatload of money from here to there, right? Then when I got here, as I got closer, then I would decide, how do I want to handle the 200 in VWAP? Do I want to shed? Do I want to exit altogether? And as we looked at earlier, right? It sat here and consolidated. And then what did I tell you? I wanted it on the break and the hold. There was my break. There was my hold, right? And then we wrote it up off and on, just scalping it the rest of the way. Now, had I done this, right, got in there, I could have got in that nice little EWO. Let me use my trading view chart here. That would have been, let's see, how many ticks is that? That would have been approximately, is that right? No. Yeah, that is right. We'll just call it, we'll call it 700 ticks. If I just weighed one click down here on Coach's 2-minute EWO strategy, what did I say it was? 700? What's 7 times 5? 35, right? And it made $3,500 just with one click on one contract, writing it from here up to where it's at now, had I held it, because there was really nothing that said to get out of this trade. Well, how do I know that, Mark? Well, through your training and education that you receive here as a paid member of where? AmericanDreamTrading.com. You would have known how to handle this trade. You would have had known what all these indicators are telling you, what these two were, which I pretty much already told you that, right? And you could have rode this all the way up, right? You see me trading five contracts, right? Well, that'd have been $3,500 profit times 5. That'd have been $17,500. I could have made trading just simple 5 contracts all the way up here. Just math, folks. Just math, right? So it's an amazing thing when you learn how to do it and you get these nice runs. Does it do this all the time? Nope. Sometimes you got to squeeze the pennies out of your trades, right? But look at that. Did we not say very early this morning, paid members, when we were dealing with all that chop and not wanting to go anywhere? What did we say? You never know when it's going to have a breakout, right? We sat through all this stuff. We made a little bit of money off it this morning, right? It had a nice rise, and then it consolidated forever. And then we had a nice drop, and even that was a choppy play, but it did drop, right? And we said, you never know when there's going to be a breakout to the downside or to the upside. Well, here we had a breakout to the downside. That's a boatload of money. And it went through this period of choppiness a little bit. Still a lot of money to be made. And now, after all this here, where it was squeezing pennies out of money, out of a thing, candle, and look, thing took off again. If you're patient and you sit there and you concentrate on 1 or 2 or 3 different trades, it will make you a lot of money. That would have been a stress-free trade. You seen why I was scalping that. You saw what I went through, right? You watched the numbers live as it happened here, how they gyrated up and down. Well, I wouldn't even cared about none of that. If I'd got in down here, everything above this line right here is 100% profit. What do I care what it does right here, right? If I'd entered in here, I would have been up here, sorry. Wrong place, wrong button. Or no. Yeah, up here. That would have been my entry there. Everything from here up is pure profit. What do I care if this gyrates up and down? But you've seen me doing that using a scalping strategy, right? How much money that was in matters of seconds. And that's stressful, right? Especially as soon as you enter a trade that pulls back, you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm losing money. Oh, you're freaking out, right? What did I just do to my account? Well, you see it, they came out. Out of them 5 trades, I didn't have a losing one, right? I let it sit there. But that's beside the point. That would have been a 1-click trade. I don't care how much these individual candles gyrate because I'm making so much money, I could care less why I'm letting the runners run, right? And you don't know where the top's at. This thing could go up for the rest of the next 25 minutes, right? But as a scalper, I was giving up a lot of that, right? Because once I jump out, now I'm reevaluating my trade. Do I want to re-enter? Well, if I had stayed in the dumb thing to start with by employing Coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategy, I kind of got in down here and let it rise. Now, I know we weren't here at the time this started, but right? But if I was an NQ follower, like some of our members are in here, they'd have been in, and there probably are in this trade I'd venture to guess one of our members is probably into NQs right now and has been since the EWO trade started. Can I get a confirmation on that? Unless you're in a trade, unless you're into trade.
Yeah, I'm in it, Mark.
Don't want to distract you, right? So letting it run, very stress-free, stressless. It's not as stressful, put it that way, right?
But that last candle, Mark, just before was brutal. Stayed through it.
There you go. So I know we had another member probably in here trading that. That person didn't say anything. And we're not going to make them because they're in a trade. I want to distract them, right? That's why I don't trade my real money. So again, you don't know how, you never know the top, you never know the bottom, right? This is still a good trade. There's nothing based on coach's training and education that he gives to us every single day. There's nothing in here that says to get out of this trade. Nothing. Well, it's pulling back. Yep, you're right, it is. There's still nothing that tells me, had I got entered this EWO like I should have back here, there's nothing that tells me to get out of the trade. But you're giving up profit. Yep, I am. There's still nothing here that says to get out of this trade. Now it's starting to speak to me about getting out of the trade, but there's nothing here that tells me to get totally out. Can I shed here on pullbacks? Yep. If I had multiple contracts, I can get rid of some, lock into profits, right? But believe it or not, this does telling me this nothing tells me to get out. This could go to the moon yet. You don't know. You have to trust your indicators, trust your training, trust your experience, right? We don't deal with emotions here. You have to learn, and it's easier said than done, believe me. We're all human. Is try to trade like a robot, right? If you punch these in here and told it to trade as long as all this criteria is met, and the computer would just trade this as long as all these criteria are met. No motion, very robotic, and that's how you have to get yourself trading, right? Well, market still, there's another red candle. Yep, there is, but yet there's nothing here telling me to get out of this trade yet, right? I will sit here until it tells me to, based on what I'm seeing in front of me, right? Because you don't know where it's going to stop, right? Now, again, if I'm in this trade, I've been sliding, especially EWO, I've been sliding my stop up. So in case you do get a knife drop, I would have my stop right here. Right here at this line would be where my stop would be, right? So yes, I'm going to give up that profit from here to there, but that's okay. I got my stop there. I'm going to park it right below that line, right? In case a wick happens to touch it, because it may come down here and retest this level. Here's an indicator, it may retest this indicator and bounce back off. So I would have my stop, physical stop that I have programmed, I'd have it in right here. And I would let the runners run. Here, let me go buy one here just for the sake of buying one. I got it. I didn't check. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry. Here's my stop. So I would leave my stop here. Now, again, I'm just now entering this trade, so the profits and stuff I make is not going to be a good thing. But this is where I would park my stop, right below this critical level here that we broke through. We waited on, right? You were with me for the ride. We waited on this. So that would be a stop, which it would have to come down to the center of this box. That's how these stops work. This one here, it's in the center of this box. Imagine an imaginary line here, right? I can draw one here. We'll draw a little line here. We'll make a different color, okay? We'll make it yellow. How's that? All right, that little yellow line there. Let me tweak it a little bit to hair off, right? I can grab it, drag it down, just so that if this price falls down to here, it will stop me out automatically. But that's okay because I'm saying that I got in down here, okay? We're just pretending in this case. So I'm going to let this run. This is where I would actually have my stop in real time. I'd have just a hair below that line. Why so? Why not on the line? Well, because a lot of times it'll come down and test the line, and you'll get a wick that'll just pop through there and tick you off because that's all it touched you, right? So I'll give it a little extra room because I don't care. I'll have all this profit. Now, you just saw me enter this trade, so it's going to show a loss, but if the EWO, if I had to enter that, it would be all profit anyway. So the only thing I stand to lose is profit. I'm not going to lose any of my money that I have invested in this. So I am still trusting my indicator. It still does not tell me to get out of this, right? You see why? Does anybody know why it says not to get out of this trade? For you free listeners and watchers. I'm not going to give you the answer. Do you know the answer? If you do, type it into the chat box paid members don't say nothing. I know you know. I want to see if the free members that watch us each and every day, well, it works. So if you're a paid member, do not answer the question. Any of you free members know why this is not telling me to get out of this trade yet. And by the way, if this does break through up here, I will move my stop up more as this moves up. All right. Matter of fact, I would already be moving this up, but I'm going to leave it there
Can I
for
say
right
what Vegan Knowledge said?
now. Vegan Knowledge, let me look and see. She didn't type an answer in there, so I don't know what Vegan
I know
Knowledge
she's on the
said.
exercise bike. Can I tell you what her answer was?
What is her answer?
It was because it's above the 9.
There you go.
Yeah, like vegan knowledge better.
You know what? She's my favorite.
Yeah, me too, Mark. I love her.
Hey, Ralph, back off. Okay. So, what is this doing? Does this tell me to get out yet? We're going to let this baby go here. We'll see what happens, right? Doesn't make for entertaining TV, but we're talking about it. And the correct answer was yes. I am trusting my indicators. And one of my indicators here is this 9 EMA. And the reason I'm saying that is because, again, we're pretending that I got in way down here, right? We're not going to use this as my entry point, okay? So don't worry about what this really says over here. But even in real life, jumping in, scalping this, I'm up. What am I up? $700, right? So my point is, I will not exit this trade unless it breaks and holds below the 9. And even then, I would let it come down to the 21. The 21 is my line in the sand. Okay, so now I can move this up here a little bit, right? I'm going to move my little marker line here just so you can see. So I'm going to keep that just a hair below my 21. My line in the sand is the 21. If it breaks, holds right there. If it breaks at 21. So see the consolidation at a critical level. So I guess my line that I drew on there in a hurry ain't so bad after all, is it? Right? So you understand what we're doing here? You getting kind of a picture of how we trade here? Is this interesting to you? Is this boring you out of your mind sitting in a real trade watching it happen as it happens? Right? So, I can get out. I'm up $1,200 on this trade and I can lock this in scalping it right now, and I'll be way over, well, I'm up $2,800. Again, it's not real money, so it doesn't matter, but I could exit this trade right now and walk away with almost $3,000 right there. I just broke the $3,000 mark right there. 6 trades in the amount of time that we've been hanging out together. Tell me what job pays you that kind of money. I guarantee you your 9-to-5 job don't. Now, did I make it look easy? Yeah. But I also have experience, right? And I've had the training from Coach. We have paid members in here that are still learning, right? They learn every day, principle. They get to the point where they start understanding what's going on, and then they'll start paper trading and then putting their knowledge to work, learning how to use the software, how to enter and exit a trade, how to put indicators on the chart, what's indicators mean, and all that, right? So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think possibly could happen if it breaks this level here that this has been trying to break through for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're on a 2-minute chart. Last 20 minutes have been trying to break this level. What do you think might happen if it breaks through there? If you was a psychology major, and you have to know psychology a little bit to be a day trader and understand how people think, how you think. You think they might get a little excited again, just like they did at VWAP? What happened when it broke VWAP? Look at that. Boom. Well, this one here, for one reason or another, just doesn't want to go, right? Well, here we go. Testing it. Do you think people are going to get excited? We have 15 minutes left in the trading time, so there could be a big sell-off here any second, right? I'm still going to leave this here because there could be a big sell-off and this can get dumped like a rock, right? We've seen it happen. Well, I want to see, I'm hoping there'll be a break and a hold, another candle on top of this one, just like I was waiting for here, right, to show upward momentum. Didn't have the break and hold there, did it? It's got the break, not the hold yet. They're still debating, right? Still nothing tells me to get out of this trade. I'm up $2,000 on just one scalp trade alone on just 5 simple contracts. Exciting. Be able to sit here, especially in EWO, and watch this happen, and sit back and, drink a cup of coffee and let it ride the wave up, baby. All right? Why all the time you're making money. How's this going to do it? Is this going to do it? You can do it! You can do it! You can do it! Let's give us some excitement here.
Here we go.
Come on. Wait. Get excited. No? Oh, well. Got to have the volume, right?
So you got to watch it, Mark, because it's a few points away from going red to green
Yep.
for the day.
Right. Irregardless, I'm pretending I'm in the EWO, right? It's only going to pull back to here. I'll lock in whatever profits I give up to here, right? Can I start moving this up a little bit? Yeah, I might, especially since it's what time of the day it is, right? I might want to just say, oh, okay, I don't want to give up a dime, right? And I might want to tighten my stop up. Now, I have to also remember there's going to be increased volatility starting about now, especially the last 10 minutes. This thing can go up and down, gyrate widely, right? So, again, I normally don't trade this time of the day, other than when I'm hanging out with you fine folks, right? So, again, I did this all day today on a 1 micro contract. I started trading at 5 this morning, and I traded up till a little bit ago. I made $700 on 1 micro. This here is the equivalent. Each E-mini is equal to how many? 10 micros. Now I'm also doing times 5, so this would be like 50. So, you can make some serious money doing this with a little bit of money. Let's see, how many ticks would I have been up had we did the 2-minute EWO, which we didn't, but we're pretending we did here, right? Let me measure this. This is up. My drawing tool right here. Back over here. I'm looking at my other screen, by the way. That is we'll just say 800, right? That's $800 on one micro contract you would have made. Is it $1? $1 a tick on a micro? Micro, it's 50 cents. You'd have made $400 on one little micro contract, right? If you have 5 of them, right? On a less than $1,000 account, you make some serious money here, folks. It's not easy. 90 to 95% of all day traders fail in their first 1 to 2 years, right? And mainly because they don't have the training and education from a mentor, for somebody like Coach is. He's been in the markets for over 33 years now, right? They don't have a support group that they can ask questions to, like we do here live on our Zoom call with other moderators and trainers and members who know what they're doing, right? They don't have somebody to talk to when things ain't going right? And they end up falling into depression and they end up giving up, right? Well, we have that. We have one of the strongest communities of its type on the internet. If I maybe even be the largest support community of traders. I don't know that as a fact, so I just know we're large. Let's put it that way, okay? Are we the largest? Yeah, I don't know. Look at that. Had I sold out there, look at that. What did we say was probably going to happen
That's
if
your
it
pop.
broke? And there's your pop,
It
right?
went from
Now
red to
it's getting
green.
towards the end of the day. I might want to go ahead and start trying to lock some of this in, right? I may even want to move
Right.
this up to this previous level in case it pulls back. I might even want to slide this up. I'm up $4,700. That's a boatload of money. There's $4,800. I might want to just keep moving this up and just not let it pull back, because my day's about up, folks. All right? This could pull back at any moment. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up, right? I'm going to use my stop to lock in profit. See, here's where I got in at. Now I'm going to move this up. I'm going to let it gyrate here a little bit because it continued to go. I have about 1:18 left on this candle, right? I am now up 5,600. I'm over 5,000 just in this little scalp. What was a scalp, right? Now I'm going to use my stop. I'm not going to move it up too tight because I want to give this candle room to move. Well, take all the profit, why don't you? Well, I could. I could hit the sell button, take it all right now, right? I'm up $5,700. I could lock that in with one click of the mouse button. All I gotta do is click this button over here and I'll be out of this trade. But how do I know this ain't gonna go up higher? So I'll use my stop. I'm willing to give up profits. You know, I'm gonna lose a few $100 maybe here, but you don't know. I may gain thousands before the next 9 minutes are over with. I don't think I will, but you don't know. I'm looking for a big sell off and this will drop like a rock. That's my expectation, to be quite honest. That's my bias because it's the end of the day. Why wouldn't people want to take their profits after shooting up this high? Wouldn't you? But sometimes they don't. It's surprising. You don't really know. Look at that, sitting there that long. You know, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just sell it and be done with it. Right? Bam. I'm gonna lock in that 4,900 and whatever it was, $25. Right. So I did that. Okay. There we go. And I'm now out of that trade. I could have used my stop there, right? And so you can see it's starting to pull back. So how much money do you think I got just on these 7 trades? $6,813 even. And look, it's going up again. But I decided to get out just because the risk reward, right? Could this shoot to the moon yet? Yeah, it could, right? Oh well, I'm out. Is $6,800 enough? Well, is it never enough? I don't know. Have I made more? Yeah. Have I made less? Yeah. Right. This is just in the time that we've had together here. Wasn't even in this trade the whole time, and I did what, 7 trades? Well, in this case, they were all green. Now we let that one go red while I was talking, but I could have locked that money in too, right? So, but it was still a green trade. I ended up still making money on it, right? Even purposely letting it try to lose, it still kept going up, even when I was trying to lose money on purpose. So, again, it's not real money, right? Can I enter this trade again? Sure could, right? Get in this, see what we can do with this, right? Let me put this on here. There's my stop. I'm gonna slide my stop down here about halfway down the previous candle. It's gonna be real tight. There's my profit margin right here, down 300 bucks, right? See, I normally wouldn't do this because now I'm really getting close, right? What did I say I was worried about happening? They were gonna dump it, right? Lock in their profits. Well, because this was gyrating, when I clicked buy, it's already pulled back a little bit. Now I'm down 150. I'm going to watch this. If this gets green at all, I'll go ahead and sell it. I'll take my profit. I don't care. I don't care if I make 50 bucks. Right now I'm losing money. I'd be thrilled to have it, right? So, yeah, this is not what you do. You don't trade like this because this, I already told you that I was looking for it to pull back. So, but I jumped in. So we'll sit here and wait and see what happens, right? Will we get another pop? I doubt it. Well, there's a little candle there. We'll see what happens, right? If that pops up green at all, I'm going to take it, right? Let's see if it gets one little burst of energy. I don't expect it to. But I want to show you, see this, how fast you lose money? See? You see me make the money fast. I'm down 800 bucks already, right? It's changing constantly down here, right? TikTok, you can't see it because you don't have the good view. If you're on YouTube, you could. Again, for those of you, TikTok, this is a view you're going to be stuck with for a while, if not for me anyway. So if you want the good view, go over to our YouTube page, American Dream Trading. Go over there and watch. You get the full screen view and all that. Let's watch, see how much money this dumps off. Let me cancel this stop here. I don't want it stopping out. Let's see how much money, if you didn't have a stop and you weren't paying attention, and I got in up here pretty much at the top, right? Not quite, but almost, right? I want to see if this dumps just how much money that really is, right? On 5 little contracts. Boom. Yeah, it was up. What did I say? It was up $6,800, right, for the day, for this time period. Now I'm down $2,400. This is why you don't trade without stops, right? If you're not paying attention and it pulls back on you, wham! Can you afford to lose 3 grand? I know I can't. There you go. Hiding down there. Probably bounce off the 9, but now we got less than 5 minutes left. This thing can just fall out like crazy. People start taking their profits. Oh my gosh, starting to pull back. I'm getting out. And everybody else does the same thing. And the price keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. I haven't really seen that too much lately. The market's kind of been, you might get this uprise, but I haven't really seen the humongous rises and drops here lately in the last few weeks for some reason. I don't understand it, but it doesn't matter whether I understand it or not. I'm not in control whether it goes up and down. The market makers are, right? So whatever happens, happens. All right. So I'm down 27, 2,800, almost $3,000 just on that little drop up down by jumping back in at the top. Never trade without a stop. And if you happen to catch yourself like I did earlier, trading without one, you better know how to put one in manually. I knew how to put one in manually. I just go in here and type in the things that I need to type in, change it to a stop, right? I can do whatever I want in here with this manually adding that. You need to know how to do that with every your software. You should know 4 or 5 ways how to enter and exit a trade. You should know the different ways of how to put a stop in. I can pre-program this. I can come down here in my settings, right? I can go down here in my trade widget, and you can see right here, see that box check, stop price for stop loss orders, right? 25. I go over here to futures, right? And I check that. I put in however many ticks I want, 25. Now I have it in there for that. If I was doing options, I'd do the same thing. If I was trading options, there's a place I can put in a stop loss. I can put percentages or dollars or whatever, right? So now I have all that in there. So, Doug, got your hand raised.
Weeble's recent updates allow you to drag your stop and take profit if you want to right on the screen.
Oh, right here now?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Even on paper trading?
Maybe.
Oh,
I haven't tried it in paper.
I'll have to update mine. I didn't update mine, or what version am I on here? Let's see. I am on version 8.125.
Yeah, you need to do the update.
Yeah, I maybe will do that. That's so it's like Trading View now. You can grab it.
Yeah,
and drag
you can bracket your orders.
Cool.
It's actually pretty handy.
Yep.
You can cancel the TP if you want to, leave the stop,
Cool.
or just drag a stop and then manipulate it from there.
I never use take profit. I don't want to limit my upside.
Well,
Always want to limit downside. Yeah, I understand.
when you click on it, it allows you to slide down for the stop, and then if you slide up, it'll allow you to drag a TP, confirm, and then you can cancel whatever you don't want.
Yeah, see, it won't let me do that here. So yeah, I'll take a while. I'll hit the upgrade button before I sign off for today because I got to get outside and do some outside work for rain hits tomorrow.
Let me test it.
Yep. So anyway, I thank you all for being here today. Hope you learned something. That doesn't take a lot of money to make a lot of money. Takes money to make money, but doesn't take a lot of money to do that. Hopefully you picked up a few little tips here today. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you learn here at AmericanDreamTrading.com. Head on over there. Grab those memberships. We do have those promotions running on our Diamond and our VIP Gold Complete packages. And also we have our crypto and special promos on the futures lifetime memberships. Those will go away once they've reached their limit on sales, or coach decides to withdraw the offer. So once they're gone, they're gone. You don't want to be that person that says, oh, I wish I'd have got that last week when it was still active, because you know what coach is going to say? Too bad, so sad. But I do thank you for being here. We are live 3 times each and every day, Monday through Friday. Coach is live from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm live 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time with Futures Education and Training Outreach. And then at 5 p.m., we have the Aftermarket Show with our lovely host, Dawn, over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Check that out. That starts in an hour from now. Stop over and say hi. Tell her you came from the future. That way she knows where you came from. Go check it out. As always, all of our broadcasts are available for immediate review upon completion of each broadcast over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. And you'll also find over 2,000 free, absolutely free training videos there also for you to look at. So if you can see those things over there for free, imagine what we could do for you with a paid membership. It will blow your mind. Thank you all for being here today. See you same time, same bat channel tomorrow. Make sure anybody you run into today and the rest of the day that you leave a positive, lasting impression with them. So I will see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel.